Hey everybody, welcome back. This week I have some time and I wanted to do some reviews on the myriad of add-ons that I have for Flight Simulator 24, and I'm going to try to make them rapid fire, just call them rapid fire reviews, keeping them under 15 minutes, but trying to get to the essence of, is this worth it? And I will add the current price for each item in the description so that you can reference that, and I can update that if the prices do significantly update as well. So the first one is right here on the screen, the CowanSim 206B3. It was updated fairly recently. It has a nice suite of electronics on board. One variant, a ton of liveries if you're into it. Quite honestly, I'm a sucker for anything with green and white. Just kind of works. It's a nice color scheme. So let's go ahead and pick this one. There's really not much else to that one. And we are just going to go ahead and get started at the Grand Canyon National Park. It's a great place because it has a ton of parking spots for helicopters. Cool. That was quick. Now that we're here, as you can tell, the model itself looks fantastic. This is concerns the model is fantastic. Nothing to really think about. First of all, just, if you're into that, it doesn't have myriad. So let's get to the inside. Let's see. The EFB itself, it has a checklist. Interior pre-start, engine run up, engine shut down. Most of it is there, it just does not have like the little eyeball to pull you to that specific piece, which is quite alright. It's a helicopter, it does not have a lot of control areas, surfaces, things that you can press to begin with. We're just, since it's rapid fire, we're going to quick start this thing. And we're going to watch it from the exterior as it starts up because that alarm is loud. I will say the sound is pretty good. I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. Notable with the model is there is no visible pilot, which is not the end of the world for me. If you care about that, it might be the end of the world for you. Interior, we get here just as the annoying beep stops. Like I mentioned before, this did recently get updated with a nice, I think that's a Garmin G1000. I don't know my Garmin's by heart. Either way, that does not matter. This is very nice. You can set it to a GPS track, so you should be able to also use autopilot with this. Let me use my panel just to set altitude and see if it shows up. 10,000, 10,000. Turn on the... That's non-responsive. So if it has autopilot, it needs some additional tuning. Cool, that will start it up. You have 2 GPS units down here. Some of your basic controls down here for your taxi lights. You have anti-ice down there. You have, let's see, heat. Avionics is on, batteries on, alternators on, strobe lights on, navigation lights on. The controls for the panel lighting. Honestly, just like the exterior, the interior of this model looks pretty dang good to me. Nicely done. If you're playing on an average system, you can open the door from the interior. Let's give it a whirl. So you can open it from the interior, not from the exterior. You can open this window. Cool. the sound response appropriately. Keep in mind I'm, as always, recording at 60% volume. If I sound a little tinny, that's probably because I am using my headset's microphone. I don't really see any difference with doing that. We might as well hide him so we can see out the window. Cool. Let's take off gently. Nice and responsive. Very comfortable throttle. I don't know if people care too much about that, but honestly, it responds very nicely. It is a little jerky. We might have to get some more speed going. And some more altitude while we're at it. There we go. This road leads directly to the Grand Canyon, so it'll be fun with lineup. Needs to look at those. Well, you can just it's a little bit of a jerky response to raising or lowering the throttle. I'm using very, very small adjustments to try and limit that behavior. We're going over speed a little bit. Thankfully, it's not yelling at me for going over speed. There we go. Guess that it's a very nice cockpit. I wonder if I can engage the... I cannot engage the autopilot, so if it has an autopilot, it is not working. For me, at least. Once you get to a reasonable speed, this is a very comfortable little flight. Again, just micro adjustments. You can see the rim of the Grand Canyon ahead of us. Once we get there, we'll dive into the canyon itself. Again, though, so far it flies pretty dang well. It's the Grand Canyon. This may be surprising to some of you, but it is indeed very grand. There's the rock I stood to take a picture of myself. Cool! Let's see how fast this thing can go down. Ooh! Okay, now it's definitely yelling at me for going over speed. The panel did not light up for it though. There we go. It definitely doesn't like it when you abuse it, but that's kind of a given, isn't it? Look at that view, though. Ain't that sun? We usually go right, or left, so let's take a right today. doesn't care too much if you go a little bit over speed, which is fine. It's otherwise very responsive. It flies very decently. If this was on sale, I would purchase it. There's a bridge. It does have this tendency to try to jerk away from me. I'm also just going to blame that on my personal piloting skills, because it seems to be otherwise fairly responsive, although that weaving up and down gets really old. Come on, take the speed out. Take the speed out. There you go. Alright, let's land this bastard. Too hard. Although if we do it, we can see if it does. This thing is great. Honestly, if you're into helicopters, which I am, I would say the gold standard for this is, for example, the Miltech MH60, which has everything. Everything is clickable, every button works, it has covers, it has everything. But it's, I believe, a $50 helicopter. This one, we're going to do a quick look up. For the CowanSim 206B3. It is currently for sale on the CowanSim website for $9.99. It has 9 ratings, averaging 4.8 stars. It is originally designed only for Flight Simulator 2020, but they say it is compatible with Flight Simulator 2024. And if you do have the PMS GTN 650 or 750, you can add an additional package using this link. So that's pretty cool. It is supposed to have what is called the CowanSim Stability Augmentation System, or SAS, which is an integrated autopilot. I couldn't get it to work, but I also don't have a flight plan loaded, so I'll accept that. If they say it works, it works. It comes with that big touchscreen you saw, the G3X. And then you can also use the PMS GTN 650 or 750. I think that covers about everything for this one. So yeah, $9.99. I think it's a pretty good helicopter. If you're into helicopters and you accept that it's not fully kitted out for Flight Simulator 2024, but it flies as well. Let's give it an 8 out of 10. I think this is pretty damn good. We'll see you all